Attack on our U.S. consulate in Libya, and brand new reaction on this Sunday from the Sunday talk shows as lawmakers continue to press for answers, the truth, as to why 4 Americans, including our U.S. Ambassador Christopher Stevens, were killed. Republican Arizona Senator John McCain saying today, this is, quote, now the worst cover-up or incompetence I have seen in my entire life, end quote. The senator now calling on the White House to declassify and release surveillance video from Benghazi. Meanwhile, Democrats argue the terrorist attack on the consulate is being politicized.
Now we know that there were tapes, recordings inside the consulate during this fight, and they came in, the FBI finally got in and took those, and now they're classified as, quote, top secret. Why would they be top secret?
Any impartial observer who looks at what happened in Benghazi would have to say this situation's been politicized. Governor Romney himself realizes that his actions and his reaction was unbecoming for potential commander-in-chief. He's backed off those comments and that point of view.
National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin has been out in front of this story from the very beginning and broke the news that urgent calls for help during the attack from Americans under fire were denied. Jennifer, you're in Washington tonight. What requests were unanswered according to your sources?
Well, Harris, remember, my source was on the ground at the CIA annex in Benghazi. I'm told that at about 9:40 p.m. when the first shots were heard, former SEAL Tyrone Woods and the other operators at the annex asked the CIA base chief for permission to go help at the consulate. They were told by the base chief to, quote, stand down. The base chief was in radio contact with the station chief in Tripoli. U.S. officials say the base chief was trying to arrange Libyan help. At approximately 10:30 p.m., Woods and his team asked for permission to help again and were again told to, quote, stand down. At that point, they disobeyed orders and went on foot. Anyway, they were armed. They were climbing walls all the way to the consulate, which was about a half-mile away on foot. They helped rescue the survivors and return to the CIA annex. At midnight, they radioed for backup. They had begun taking sporadic fire at the annex, and they asked, quote, where the blank is the Spectre? That's the AC-130 gunship. General Carter Ham is the commander in charge of AFRICOM. He oversees military operations in northern Africa. He was in the Pentagon at the time of the attack on September 11th, the time of the attack on the consulate, and he oversaw the operation from there. He traveled to Libya with Republican Congressman Jason Chaffetz.
I can tell you that a first-hand account in my meeting with General Ham asked very specifically, did we have resources in the area? The answer is yes. Did we have proximity? The answer is yes. And then asked why we didn't send in some of those assets. The general said he was not requested to do so.
Tier 1 Special Operations Forces deployed to Sigonella in southern Italy and also were never given the go order. Harris.
You know, Jennifer, when this story was first breaking in the first days and really couple of weeks, we learned about 2 suspects that were picked up in Turkey. They had reportedly fake passports. What more do we know about those 2 men?
Well, we know that 2 suspects, as you mentioned, were seen at the attack site. They were detained at the airport in Turkey, and at least one of them, I'm told by a senior U.S. official, was transferred to Tunisia, where U.S. authorities have not been given access to them, much to the frustration of the U.S. intelligence community. The attackers can be seen very clearly on the internal surveillance systems tapes from the consulate that Senator McCain was referencing in the opening, but the intelligence community is not releasing those tapes. They remain classified. Finally, my source, who was at the CIA annex, says that 3 attackers were detained by the American security team in Benghazi, but they were turned over to the Libyan authorities when they evacuated to the airport, and they are presumed to have been released. Harris?
Jennifer Griffin live for us tonight in Washington. Thank you very much for the latest on Benghazi. And now a programming note.